Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang. Satguru Mujiji ki in the chat and we will look at them. And if you're here, you can ask. Please come. Come back. Sometimes the table hurts also. The song said, "Stay as the witness." Stay as the witness. Very often people say in satsang, just stay as the witness. What is the implication of this pointing? Because the mind can very quickly come and say, yes, yes, but I am the witness. How will I become something else? So the pointing, stay as the witness, only means just see that you are not anything which is appearing or disappearing. You are the witness of that. And when you have identified with all of these appearances, means you've seen that I cannot be this content which is coming and going. See, I keep saying this, but I wonder if everyone gets it. If it is coming and going, who is it coming and going for? There must be a witness for which this is coming and going. That which is coming and going is not saying that I am coming and going. The witness which observes the going, that witness must be here. That which is coming, once it's gone, it doesn't exist. So it cannot report that I went, I came and I went. It must be that which didn't go. It didn't come and it didn't go. That must be reporting that something, all appearances are coming and going. My signal isn't so good. What's happening? The audio is not good or the video?
It's just breaking up a little bit every now and then.
It's breaking up. Okay, we see how it goes. Another 5 minutes, then you can tell me again. Tell me how.
Okay.
So, the one which is watching the comings and the goings, this one, is this one also coming and going? When they say this, that you are actually this. The one which is not coming and going, the one that is witnessing the comings and the goings. And then ultimately we will ask you, is there even a witness? So long, so it seemed like a bit of a bait and switch. So long we said, stay as the witness, stay as the witness. And then the question will be, is there even a witness? What does it mean? What does it mean? And you will say, of course. Many will say, of course. The witnessing is here, so there must be a witness. But this is also not true. It is just the witnessing itself, the awareness itself, which you are. And this is where the mind has no chance of following. Therefore, initially it is good if you say stay as the witness. The mind feels that the entity which I am witnessing, it can somewhat still grapple with this sort of thing. But when we were looking, we cannot find any end. there is no separation. Completely frozen, can't hear anything here. I see. Okay, maybe I reconnect. Ah, I'm in the wrong network. Okay. Okay, it's working. Okay, how is it now? Yes, yes. Is it better now? Image is poor and the audio is better. Maybe it'll improve a little bit. I just was connected to the wrong Wi-Fi and now I switched to the right network, so it should get better. Should I reconnect? It's improved. Okay, good. Okay, wonderful. So that was the best satsang ever. What you missed, completely new words. It just came from somewhere very, very deep. You know. No, I'm just kidding. It's the same old stuff. But the main point which I was making was that you, as a witness, are aware of everything which is coming and going. You see, you cannot be coming and going, otherwise you could not report that everything is coming and going. Waking state comes, waking state goes, dream state comes, dream state goes, objects inside each of them coming and going, and also sleep state comes and goes. So everything which is appearing is disappearing, and yet you are able to report on it. You are able to report on it because you must be there watching. Whether the mind says I was there in sleep or not, all this is not important. But to see that something is coming and going, there must be you as the observer. So that's a good starting point. That I am not affected by these comings and goings. I am just the observer. Very good. Like this, then all these worldly phenomenal attachments can start to thin out a little bit. But then I ask you, is there even a witness? Is there even an observer? And if you were to look, you will find that there is no entity called the witness or an observer. No seer. There is no seer. All there is the witnessing, is the awareness. And this awareness you are, this witnessing you are. And I was saying that the mind cannot understand this. It can go so far as to understand that you are an entity which is the witness or the observer. Because the mind can only relate to things in time and space. But you are not an entity in time and space. And yet, all phenomena arises from your dynamic aspect which is called consciousness. So the strong stead stay as the witness or be the witness. It's a very helpful pointing, especially if you're new to satsang. It's very helpful because the witness you can quickly see is unaffected by any phenomenal movement. And Cornelia has a question. She says, Father, the witness occurs simultaneously with the phenomenal world. If this was true, then how would you know that there is something called sleep? Even if there was no clock, watch, and you went to sleep, when you wake up from sleep, you are aware, oh yes, I went to sleep. There was no mind, there was no phenomenal object. You say there was nothing there, and yet you were there to see that there is nothing there. So the witnessing is present even in the sleep state. Otherwise, we would not know of a state called sleep. You would just think that once in a day, something happens miraculously and the clock moves forward by a few hours or something like that. Therefore, the witnessing is ever present in all states, independent of all states. And there is no entity called the witness, even in the phenomenal world. There's no difference. See what happens with awareness also, it seems you're a ing, something being seen, not a phenomenal attribute can be assigned to you. Yes. And if you're not an entity, if you have no attributes, then you cannot be touched by any occurrence in the world. All your material possessions might be blowing up like it's happening with Anandi. They might all be blowing up. It's happening with many. Last four gadgets, such gadgets seem to be giving up on us. So all this can happen. In fact, the entire world can burn to pieces, but you remain untouched. That's why when all these things are happening, we must see them as grace, as opportunities to see that how untouched I am. And sometimes we feel I'm strongly attached to something, but when it goes, this is quite okay. So sometimes the belief about attachment is also stronger than the attachment itself. So when the pointing comes, stay as the witness. And you see many pointings. Another dear friend and I were talking in the morning, and she said that somebody had this pointing, Katie. Katie had this pointing that all you have to do is sit up, is to stand up, and to lie down. The rest is all just a story. She was saying that Katie said this. Then the Buddhists, many Buddhists also say that your only job is to breathe. Only job is to breathe. That's all you have to do. The rest is all unfolding. See? So these are very helpful pointings, and they're much more accessible. So I would say that you are just witnessing. You're just witnessing. But that is for you because you've been in satsang for a while, and you can fathom what I'm saying. You are just witnessing. But for others, in general, it's much easier to say that the only job is to breathe. The only job is to sit up, stand up, and lie down. Yes, yes. Ultimately, that is the question. You see, if this question comes, so as long as there is a sense that I am the doer, then the Buddhists, when they say, it's not like they don't know that there is nobody who is doing it, but because they know it's not completely accessible, and right now there's so much suffering, so they want to give you a sweetie on the way, a candy to make you feel better. And say, okay, only job is to breathe. And the doership gets related only with this sense of doing the breath. And all the rest is unfolding, which itself is very strong. But then this question will arise. This question will arise. So, who is the one who is breathing also? And you realize that there is no one, no individual entity, no person doing anything at all. But it's a good step from presuming that I'm doing everything, to just I'm only breathing. Very helpful pointer to many. So you will come to this conclusion that you are not doing anything. Being, witnessing, being aware is not a doing. It would be a doing only if it could be switch on and off. It just is here. Being is not a doing. It's just being. There is no effort. You cannot be more or be less. You cannot do more being. Let's be. Let's all get together and be. Huh? Cannot put more fire into this energy of being. Same way, you cannot witness more. Let's just witness. Keep your eyes bigger or something. Witnessing is just happening. Eyes closed, eyes open, senses operational or unoperational. The witnessing continues. That's why Guruji says, what takes no effort, what takes no time.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So, a lot of the way that personhood is working is the whole body is that. And I've been able to watch a lot of just doing and realize that I'm not the one doing this. Where I am finding a little confusion that's coming is, okay, I'm not doing it as a person, but am I doing it as consciousness? And I'm not really clear on that point further. About consciousness doing, because I was reading an excerpt of yours, and it says consciousness is doing. Is that, I mean,
Yes,
I'm not understanding.
This is good because we haven't touched on this for quite a while. Consciousness is the light of the movie projector. This is the light of the movie projector. Then who is doing the movie? In the presence of this light, this movie is playing.
So awareness? No, awareness.
No. Yes. Awareness is like the witness of the movie.
Right.
The witnessing of the movie. There is no movie without the light. You see? So in the presence of this light, the closest we can come to saying anything about it is to say that the light itself is projecting the movie. See? But the light is not actively involved in the play of the movie. It is just light. Isn't it? So this light of consciousness can be the closest thing we can say as to what is projecting this movie. So it's not like actively doing. See, now I will become Jesh and I will do this. Now I will become Ananta and I will do this. Not making this. It's just projecting the entire movie, this entire universe which you are aware of. So it's just playing. And all the intelligence of how the movie moves, whether there is karma or not, whether there is gravity or not, whether there is electricity or not, all of this is present only in the light of consciousness. In sleep, there is none of this. Yet, in waking, the light switches on, and this movie seems to be here. You see?
So even I as consciousness, I'm not consciously doing anything. Is that?
Yes, you.
So I'm just completely witnessing. There is nothing else, right?
You are not. Consciousness is not relying on you as a person to do anything. Right? But the person wants to take it on and say, yes, yes, now I am consciousness, therefore I am now moving my hand as consciousness. That's just a mind trick. This mind can never become consciousness. It's also appearing in the light of consciousness. So no person has ever been able to use this concept that consciousness is the doer. Many feel that, okay, now that I know this, I should be able to tweak my life around a little bit, and can I get a better house? Can I get something because I'm consciousness now? It doesn't work like that.
It's a relief.
It's a big relief. Yes, that's what it's meant to be. That's what it's meant to be. For many initially it's scary.
It is scary, yeah.
For many initially it's scary. That who's running my life? And you say it's just consciousness.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to just get out of this. You're like, okay, can I get out of this?
Yeah.
This because I'm not doing it, and then you're like, then you just let it go.
Yes. But the fact is that this one signal is very good now. Okay. This one, which is complaining about life and how it should go, and wants to get out of it. This one has just always been imagined, even at this realm of the phenomenal world. I want all of you to get this today, which what I repeat many times. That all this. So many of you will say, but it looks real, no? This table is real. He hit his head on it. It caused a bump or whatever. Yeah? So it seems real. So how can you say this world, this phenomenal world, is not really touching me? So I say, okay, if that's where you are, and all of this seems completely real, this body is real, this table is real, everything appearing is real, even at this level of phenomena, reality or not, can you show me the person? You can show me the body. The person you cannot show me. And then if you cannot show me the person, then who has the desire? Who has the attachment? Does the body want a better job? Does the body want more money? Does the body even want perfect relationship? Does the body want freedom? And if it is not the body, then who is it? I have no trouble presuming all of this is real. It's fine. But yet, even if all of this is real, then where is the person? You're here for freedom. So who is the one who wants it? You see? That's why I say somebody comes to your door and says, I want to talk to you about something very important. You will most naturally first ask, but who are you? So in the same way you say that I want freedom. So can I then ask, who is this one? Who wants it? And in this question itself, if you can see that it doesn't exist, then you see that freedom was always here. Freedom was only from this identification as a person. There is no other true freedom. All the rest is just experiences coming and going. So don't chase after any experience. Don't even chase after an awakening, so-called awakening experience. This happened to him, this happened to me. Why doesn't this experience with somebody else have or had happened to me also? This can become another trick, you see. Takes you away from the now into another desire, another expectation. What is the benefit of an awakening experience? I was speaking to one of you who had one of these, and I was saying the benefit that you have, the advantage that you have, is to the extent that when doubts come, when strong doubts come, you can refer back to that experience and say, no, this is not available with anything in the world. I could spend $1 trillion and I cannot get this experience. I could be around in an ashram, live in a cave for millions of years, and I might not have this experience. You see? So, to those who have had awakening experience, you have a strong shield against doubt. Because doubt is bound to come. Somebody has also typed earlier. Doubt is bound to come. For everyone. But when this doubt comes, then for those who had awakening experiences, they can just quickly check back and say, in the presence of this one, this happened. Is it possible for this to happen anywhere else? Can I go to a doctor and get it? Can I go to any sort of anywhere else in the world and can this be replicated? So use this as your shield, but don't make it something special. Don't make it something special. You've been given a special shield to shield yourself from doubt. That is the extent of the advantage. But it also comes with a lot of disadvantages. Any experience, any strong experience. And the most important disadvantage is this sense of specialness which can come along with it. This happened to me, it's not happened to him, therefore I am more awake. This kind of stuff. And the second thing which can happen is that you can say, oh, I had it, it was so beautiful, I just want to be like that. So you're still grasping for something which is past instead of being fresh into the present. See, so everything in life balances itself out. If something has advantages, it also comes with disadvantages. And every expression of consciousness is moving perfectly according to just exactly what it is. But the fact is that, experience or no experience, you are always the truth. You are always the self. The word itself, self, means self. You are that. So then, very simply, very logically, all that has to be checked is, what am I right now? So Bhagavan said, isn't it? Who am I? Most important inquiry. Just like the drop has presumed that it is just a drop, but actually has always been the ocean. In the same way, you have presumed that I have always been just this person, but in fact you have only been this awareness. So what does the drop have to do to become the ocean? Which practice, which asanas, which pranayams, which meditation?
So there is no doership. Absolutely zero.
So the question of doership is again there, so let's look at it. So we say, okay, so what are the options for who could be the doer? What are the options? One, a person. Second, consciousness. Third, awareness. Anybody else? No. These are the three options for who could be the doer. Now, person, does it exist? If it doesn't exist, then how can it be the doer? That puts sort of an end to it, isn't it? Because I've looked at the question of doership for many years and very deeply, I realize it all depends on what we are believing ourselves to be. And if we still got this belief that I am the person, then it must rely on some level of personal doership. But if it can be seen like this, that there are only three alternatives for who the doer could be. It could be person, or it could be consciousness itself, or it could be awareness. No person does not exist. Therefore, can it have any free will, anything at all? No. How can a non-existent entity have anything? It does not exist. It's a dreamed up character. It's an imagined one. It's like we can imagine just now some character. We've been doing this. These days I've been saying like this. Just imagine a 25-year-old boy who's going to school, college. Now ask him to come help you put on the air conditioning or something like this. It's just the person has always been this imagined. It's just like this. So this imagined one, can it have free will? Just a figment of our imagination. So if this person is imagined, then what is next? Consciousness. Does anything happen when consciousness is not present? Is there any experience, any doing, any action? So in the presence of consciousness, all doing and all experiencing, tasting also happens. So you pick up a fruit and you eat it. You can only do it when consciousness is present. The taste of something is only present when consciousness is present. That's why we are saying that it is the one doer and the one experiencer. All doing and experiencing happens in the light of consciousness. Awareness is not concerned by the presence and absence of waking state, dream state, sleep state. All this is coming and going. So awareness is just the pure witnessing, unconcerned by any of these actions or inactions.
But I'm not consciousness, so I must be awareness.
Yes. Why you say I'm not consciousness? You're right, but you must tell us.
Right? I mean,
yes.
No.
No, you see.
Because I can see the beingness.
Yes. He says I can see beingness. Therefore, I must be.
I mean, I'm not saying that I am awareness, but I can see the beingness. So I'm not the beingness.
Yes. Therefore, you must be
awareness.
Awareness. Yes. If you are aware of beingness, if you are aware of the presence of consciousness, your own presence, I am, the holy presence of beingness, of God, then you must be just this awareness, isn't it? Who is the witness even of the presence and absence of being.
So I cannot do anything.
Yes. But this I is who now?
I don't know.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's good. No, it's very good. No need to apologize. This is a very good inquiry which I have. So you say that I am witnessing even the presence and absence of being before I am awareness, before I am not doing anything. I am just here witnessing, being aware. And which is the only voice which comes and tells you that you are doing something?
Person.
Yes, this voice of the mind. Inquiry which I have. So you say that I am witnessing even the presence and absence of being. There's quite a lag on Facebook. It's only this belief, this imagined idea of personhood, which the mind is always testifying to. And the mind might come now and say, see, I got it. Even this can be let go of. It's still speaking to you personally.
All the voice is wrong.
Yes, yes. This one especially.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me. There's knowing, which is you just know.
Yes.
You just know. That's phenomenal also.
You mean knowing of a concept?
No.
Then that is a function of awareness. Seeing, knowing, witnessing, same thing.
You said there's no need. Say,
No, no.
The other day you said, when I asked intensity is required, and you said no. High intensity, no. And then I did not understand that. But then in your class when online,
Yeah.
that knowing came. That's different, isn't it?
Can you differentiate between the knowing and the seeing? This knowing which came and the seeing. Is there a difference between it?
I don't know, I can't know. Knowing and see.
Because you're not talking about the phenomenal seeing here. We're not talking about the perceiving through senses.
No. So
It's the same.
it's also seeing. It's not seeing. Is it?
You tell me. You will see now what's going on.
I just knew that there is no effort is required. And there is effortlessness in being. I just knew. So harmony. But seeing,
Seeing and knowing, same thing.
see,
Ultimately.
but that's phenomenal.
No.
No?
At this point, it is not. This is prior to phenomena. You are aware of your presence. The presence is responsible for all phenomenal appearances.
Yeah.
So what we are talking about is prior to all phenomena. When I say, are you aware now?
Yeah.
There is no phenomenal checking required, isn't it?
Yes.
Yet there is a knowing that I am aware now.
Yes.
So we can call this the knowing, seeing, awareness, witnessing, whatever term you want to use.
It's similar.
Yes, yes. The
Knowing,
primal, the real knowing, the true knowing, and the true seeing is the same thing. I don't use the word knowing because the mind takes it to be an intellectual knowing. Many teachers use the word knowing,
Yes, yes.
but the knowing can be confused because the knowing can be confused as something to be known from the mind, as an intellectual. So that's why I don't use the word. Maybe I missed some questions. Andrew had said, Father, past few days, mind has come so strongly. Doubts, unworthiness, etc. I follow your pointings. It is true. I have seen no thought can last. It is wonderful to witness. Thank you, Father. You know, these things, I saw a beautiful photo of you when you were hugging some lions. It's a very beautiful photo of you when you were hugging some lions. But I have to tell you that these things, these doubts, this unworthiness from the mind, these are much more ferocious than the lions you will encounter in the phenomenal world. So those lions you can hug, but these lions you have to just let them come and go. Don't give them anything to eat. Don't give them a hug also. Let them just come and go. You are the Supreme One. You are the Supreme One. Your truth is what I am in service to. Your truth is what this voice is in service to. How can you be unworthy? This is all about you. All of this is your play, your Maya. So there are three types of doubts that we can have on this point. We can doubt ourselves. I'm not good enough. I'm not ready yet. This can happen. So I am telling you that what you are is already free. Only you are giving some belief to your thoughts. What you are is already free. So that is the first level of doubt. You can say, I am not ready, I am unworthy. This is one. But this is not true. Second is that you can doubt the teaching. These words, they don't make sense. You know, is this really true? Is he really speaking from that? That sort of doubt can come about the words, what is coming. Therefore, I say, don't just take the words, or don't take my word for anything. You verify everything. You verify everything that is being said. So when I say there is no witness, it is not for you to just take on and just take his words. You clarify for yourself. Is there a witness? He is saying there is no witness. Let me be doubtful, let me be skeptical, and let me verify for myself. And then you will find that these pointings are taking you somewhere which your mind has not been able to take you. These pointings take you to your own darshan. You discover your own true self. And here the mind has not been able to take you. And then as this happens, as you validate more and more, then the development of trust will happen more. Okay? So just don't just hear what I'm saying. You must check for yourself whether it is resonating with you or not. And when you have doubts, you can come and say, you said this, but it doesn't make sense. Always be neutral. See? So this is the second type of doubt. You can say, first was, I doubt myself. Second was, I doubt the teaching. And the third is, I doubt the teacher himself. Okay? Say that, okay, his teaching seems authentic, but this guy, he's a bit tricky, so I don't know whether I can trust him. So I always said that if anything you find, any sort of exploitation, any sort of manipulation, any sort of trickery, you must come in the hangout and expose it to the entire Sangha, to the entire community. It's for everyone. We have no secret groups, we have no secret anything. If you find any sort of thing which does not resonate with you, and I'm always open. In this play, there will always be mistakes which will happen. So I'm always open to admitting if there are some mistakes. But you come up and you say that, yes, I have checked my doubts. I feel I am ready. I am open. I am here. I checked the teaching and they seem to work. But these parts of you, the things that you do, lead me to have some doubts about you. So I'm very happy to have these kind of conversations, because if you get over these little things about yourself, about the teaching and about the teacher, then you're much more open and there's so much more resonance. So use doubt as your opportunity for inquiry. Use anything that comes, which seems to be negative, which seems to be away from the path. Use that itself to add more fuel to the fire of the inquiry. And then Cornelia had said, in everything, the witness and the phenomenal world appears in awareness. Everything appears in awareness. The person and the witness don't even appear phenomenally, because they are entities, seemingly imagined entities. It is the person itself which feels like it is the witness initially, but even this identity of the witness is. But the phenomenal appearances appear within awareness through the play of its dynamic aspect called consciousness. Somebody come? Radha says, Namaste Father, feel like coming up, but can't make it to the hangout. Bringing here all that wants to hide, all that can be burnt, all the specialness that is momentarily identified. Very good. Everybody's been having some strong satsang. She went back from here the other day. We had a beautiful visit with her, and she went back, and it was raining a lot, and the roads were clogged with water. So on the way back, some water went into the engine in the car stall in the rain. So they had to walk back. All this kind of satsang has been happening for many of us. Our computers are blowing up, other gadgets are blowing up. Maybe it started with Parvati ji's computer. This is the first one to blow. So it's all fine. It's all great.
Father, sorry, one more question. Yes. The thing that I seem to find is that like even specialness comes up, arrogance comes up, all of it comes up.
Yeah.
All these things keep coming up and they keep it there. And I'm finding that the belief is a lot less belief.
Yeah.
There's still attention.
Yeah.
Attention moves, but there's still a lot less belief in that. And those will never stop. Correct? They'll still keep. I just have to be away from them. I just have to step Does that make sense?
Yes, of course.
I just cannot touch them. But they're just there all the time.
What you will find is that the mind does not stop.
Right.
But the belief will keep getting reduced and reduced to the extent that mostly you will find that the mind has lost its power to make you suffer. Even the sense of arrogance, specialness, it will become very rare, only with some button which is, new or something, got some belief. So, although the mind does not stop, its ability to grab you, this temptation of the mind, that is reducing every satsang. That will reduce every satsang. And there are things which have been discarded which you don't even know about. There's so many tendencies, so many things which were carried, which are now gone. And one day we might look back and say, oh, there was a point where I really believed that about myself.
So many things have just dropped. And even coming today, I was remembering, okay, I'll expose it here.
Now you can really expose it.
Okay, let's when I was many years ago, I must have been 23, 24, and I was with this with my then girlfriend in Canada, and we'd gone out.
Kalak is there. She's not
That's
gonna
okay. She
hang out.
knows. She knows. I have told her everything. She knows everything. Is she there? So, and it's been one of the most traumatic experiences of my life.
So you were with someone.
I was
that
with somebody.
No.
So we went clubbing one night, Father, and I had somebody. After clubbing, we went to this place, this friend's house, and they gave me some magic mushrooms. You know what that is? So that's So I'd never done anything. I'd never tried it, and somebody gave me a cup. Is it okay to expose it?
Yeah.
So somebody gave me a cup. And I didn't know you just were supposed to sip it. I drank the whole thing up, right? And I just chewed up all of it, and I had a very, very bad experience. And I thought I was going to die. I actually thought I was going to die that night. And what was strange is I was lying in bed, seeing myself dying, but I couldn't get out of myself.
Yeah.
So maybe it was I don't know. It was more. It wasn't. My body was sleeping, but I was awake, and that part that was awake was freaking out.
Yeah.
And for years, Father, and I probably still do, carry that weight of that fear. I've carried that fear till, and I'm glad you asked me to expose it. So I'm putting it. I thought I was going to die, but that flashback has come back so many times, and it caused me severe depression for many, many years, severe anxiety. Even now, if I were to go in a lift, I always feel. I feel stuck. Exactly. So I don't know why I'm telling you this. I don't know how I came here, but I just want to expose it because even now, if I'm stuck in an elevator, it gives me that's big anxiety. It just comes up. I don't know why I'm telling you this. There's no point to it.
So now,
I forget what I was saying, Father.
let the anxiety come about this. Let it come. Just see that in spite of all of this that happened, was awareness touched by it? You said that the body was asleep, yet something was still there. Witnessing this sense of fear, all this fear of dying, but that which was witnessing, was that also fearful? Even now, if some anxiety comes in the lift, you see, and my building is very scary.
Yes, even my building. So you've seen the lift in our building. It stops.
So, very good opportunity for you to go inside and say, fear comes, anxiety comes, but is the witnessing really touched by any of this?
No. It just happens that the fear becomes so intense that it kind of clouds but no, it's seen. The fear is
what
seen.
makes emotions intense is our resistance.
Yes.
You have to be completely open. You are infinite space. You are that in which the universe is born and doesn't take up any space inside you. You are that in which the universe is born and that universe doesn't take any space inside you. Imagine the space. So if some emotion is coming, don't resist it. Then you will not be able to even say that it was so strong and intense. Because it's the sort of the drama of the fight which makes it, don't come, oh, come, don't come. All that becomes.
I've dealt with this anxiety a lot. I mean, there was a point where I couldn't sleep because I'd be scared that if I go to sleep, I'm going to lose myself.
You come into this discovery that you cannot lose yourself, because then there would be two of you, the you and the self. You had something and then you lost. Then that would be a dual relationship. How can you lose yourself? Then this anxiety cannot last.
I'm happy to expose it to you. This is the biggest anxiety that I had.
Yes. And don't fear this anxiety. Don't fear any fears. Let them come. And if you find sometimes it's coming strongly for many who come to satsang, they feel, oh, satsang is going to make me blissful and happy and joyful. But what's happening is all these past fears and anxieties are coming. But I never said satsang is going to be blissful and joyful. It was still the mind's presumption. So if this is happening as the prasad of satsang, as the grace from satsang, that a lot of these anxieties and fears are coming, even that is good. Because you feel they're coming back. Actually, they're just coming to get released. They're coming, and you can then check that there is no fear of anything. Let this body's head be cut off. It's completely fine.
I now remember why I was telling you this story, Father. So on the way here today, I just remembered this experience for some reason, and then it's been so strong for me. Like the whole thing of doership has been coming up very, very. It's with me all the time. The whole contemplation and inquiry, and then for the first time in my life, I realized I didn't do that. It just happened, and for so many years, I've taken ownership of that. And as soon as I thought about that, just in the car, the weight just dropped, and it just became light, Father. And it's just the ownership that I have assumed of so many things wrongly, which is the cause of so much burden. It's like Mujiji says, right? You can sit down, but you're still carrying the suitcase on your back. And I really felt like the suitcase was just coming off my back. Thank you, Father.
But you must also remember that. So you've discovered that I am not the doer. Then also with this must come the understanding that there is no doer here. You see? So not only am I not the doer, even the friend that gave you the magic mushrooms was not the doer.
You said right, it's just that understanding that comes, Father, that if I am not doing it, then how can you can't even judge somebody
magic
else.
mushroom?
Magic mushrooms. You cannot judge anybody else because even they are coming from consciousness.
Exactly. So then no guilt and no blame.
Exactly. And it's been a big part of my life has been guilt and blame.
No pride and no humility. None of this. All this goes. You see? Once you see that consciousness is the one doer, then who is here to take credit or blame? And the mind will come and say, but won't this make you passive? So first objection is, won't it make you passive? To believe that I'm not the doer? No. The understanding is much deeper than that. It is that all the actions and the inactions have only been in the presence of consciousness by the light of consciousness. So even what is going to happen in the future will be in that light. Still the person wants to come up and say, but I don't want to become passive. What happens is that when the life energy is present, then all movement happens. When no life energy is present, then try as you might, you cannot move. So it is all a play of this energy. The second thing that comes is, okay, I'm not the doer means I can just go around and shoot people. It doesn't happen like this. This is just another of the mind spheres. It plays these trump cards, and many people buy them. They buy some fear that, oh, I'll become something else. My life will become terrible. I'll become irresponsible. I'll not take care of my family. All of this is just the common questions, common things which the mind can see. And it's been saying them for hundreds of years. And we've been buying. I keep quoting this example because I still find it fascinating. Almost 100 years ago, in the 1930s, there were a group of people sitting around Bhagwan. You read Talks with Ramana or any of the books. And you read the questions, they're almost exactly the same. Almost exactly the same from almost 100 years ago. So don't let it be that that all the actions and the inactions have only been the presence of consciousness. So now you're here, maybe we all here after 100 years and we're together, so don't let it be again that we meet again in 100 years. It's okay. If it has to play like that, it'll play like that. But my job is to say, don't let that be. Just see for yourself what you are now. But the questions are the same. If you've heard any of the broadcasts by Parvati about Talks with Ramana, you see the questions are very much like what we hear in Satsang every day. So seekers for centuries have been asking the same questions about doership, questions about intellectual understanding versus true experiencing, questions about relationships, questions about work, responsibility. It's the same stuff. If you read the Vashisht Yoga and you hear Ram talk, of course the context was a little different. He was a king or a prince, so it was different. But his question was still the same. What is the point of all of this? I have material possessions, I have everything, don't seem to get any satisfaction from it. I'm not finding any happiness and joy. So many centuries ago, he was asking these questions to Vashisht. This is reminding me of the story that Guruji says, and I'm never able to tell it well. But if you heard it from him, then you just imagine him retelling it. But for those who are new here, you can hear my version of it. So, Ram is getting married to Sita, and the wedding has been announced. And so, Dashrath, who was the father of Ram, tells Lakshman, you please go and invite all the sages on my behalf. And you go and please invite Vashisht. Was it Valmiki? See, that's why I never tell it off. So he goes, says, you please go and invite Vashisht. And he gives him his ring, his royal ring. He gives him and says, he will know that I have sent you once you show him the ring. So Lakshman goes on his horse and he's reaching the ashram of Vashisht. And he goes there and he's on the horse because he has many sages to visit. So he doesn't get off his horse. He says, you, sage Vashisht, my father Dashrath, the king, has sent me the prince to invite you to my brother's wedding. Please make sure that you come. It's full of this princely arrogance. And Vashisht says, okay, but freshen up a bit. Go inside the hut, get down from your horse, and keep the ring over there in a vase, in a bowl, which I have. So he gets off the horse, okay, gets off the horse, goes inside the hut, and he sees that there's a bowl which has hundreds of rings. Same ring, the king's ring, same ring, the hundreds of them. Now he's in shock. He had like a satsang experience, so he's in shock now. So he comes out and says, oh Master, what is this? What kind of play is this? How can my father's hundreds of the same ring be already there? And Vashisht says, oh Lakshman, how many lifetimes are we going to play the same game? The same game. You come here and you don't get off your horse of ego. You don't let go of your pride. And as long as this ego is still there, then there are many lifetimes where we keep playing this game over and over. You meet the sage, but you still hold on to the I. You meet the sage and you hold on to the I. So You will then keep meeting over and over like this. So let this be the only time when you first come to satsang that we meet as separate. Let this be the time where you and I become one. Vashit didn't say this, I'm saying to all of you. Let this be the time where all of us become one. You and I become one. Lose all sense of ego, lose all sense of personhood. It never existed. It is not the truth. And yet this play can continue because there are no limits to time. But if it is true what you say and you want this freedom now, then I am here. Always in service to those who want freedom in their hearts. Just forget about the me. It is not difficult. I am here to show you that it is completely possible. I have often said, isn't it, that if there was the worst seeker ever award, that should have been given to me. Because there was no consistency about any of my spirituality. Always jumping around here to there, one practice to another. I was truly a spiritual backbencher. But there was some openness here, and through the Master's grace, I discovered that there is truly no separation. So if it is possible for a backbencher like me, all of you are so beautiful. So just leave this I, just leave this me. Forget about your story. Let's get tired of this adventure of meeting lifetime after lifetime. Let's merge now as one. This body will not last. None of the bodies which are here will last. The persona of Ananta will not last. The persona of Jay, Shanti, Hans, no persona will last. So let's go beyond all this and discover this oneness which already is. Don't hand it over to your intellect also. Many are finding intellectualization as a great defense for the ego. So don't hand it over to the intellect also. Otherwise, in the blink of an eye, there will be another body, there will be another table, there will be another vessel for this voice to be carried. See what you are with my eyes. See what I am with my eyes. Don't give belief to any imagination. This life is supremely simple. Supremely simple. Only four sets of problems we have been given. Only four sets of problems. Body related, special relationship related, money, security, work related, and ultimately freedom related.
Extremely simple.
Don't stay lost in these four. What is beyond all of these stories? Are you just that which is experiencing only these four situations in various forms? Is just this you are? Just the owner of this body, the owner of your relationships, the owner of your bank account, the spiritual seeker. Is that it? I don't see you as that. I see you as the Supreme Self. Priya says, yes, it's the same ring, the same guy over and over. Bhagwati ji says, a few weeks ago, there was a dream here where you were looking out of these eyes, laughing, 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 so much joy. I realize now you were always here. I realize now you always were. Yes. So no unworthiness. Don't believe anything about this concept. That, oh, somebody else has got it. Somebody is so close to the master. I am still far. I am distant. It's all rubbish. I'm fully available to your inner thirst for your true discovery of yourself. Fully available. Let's go beyond all this little stuff, which is all so personal, and see what is here now, what is true, what is eternal. Don't be a slave to your thoughts and your feelings. Don't be victim to their temptations. Yet, if this play has to happen that way, it's completely fine because ultimately time is also nothing. I see there's a question that Stina posted which I missed last week also. I see, I see. Let me see now. She said, to me it seems like I have some control and power, regarding the way I am eating, exercising, doing or not doing. It feels I can decide certain things. I have this freedom. Maybe not the greater movements in my life, but in the practical daily things. Is this so? It can seem like this for some time. You see, that's why I said the best way to look at it is who is this I which says I have freedom? So let's resolve the I question first. Because mostly when free will is spoken about, it is the person which is saying I have some will. But is the person just not another figment of our imagination? Just imagine. Can you tell me something of the person which is here phenomenally? And what is here phenomenally is this body. Like we say, body is not interested in future. Body has no desire for freedom. So why does it come to satsang? So what is phenomenally here? And who is that which is the witness to this phenomenon? Is that a person? So if you come to this realization that there is no person, then who has this little bit of control also? I know many masters have said this, and it's okay initially to feel that I have some sense of control because some strong fear or something can come otherwise. It's okay. Sometimes I might also say, if I find that the questioner is not ripe enough, I might say, yes, yes, little bit you have, don't worry. But we must now ask this. If there is no person, then whose will is it? And also this concept of I have little bit of will, but the rest is the will of God. Suppose this were true. But you see that even the smallest action changes the entire universe. They say that a butterfly in the forest can cause a storm in Brazil or something like that. So everything, this is called the butterfly effect, isn't it? So the smallest action. Suppose you're a child and you have free will. Some small free will you have. That, and you do something to yourself, you fall off some place. That changed your whole life, isn't it? Just by one step. So did the child have the freedom to take that one step? And then his life got over or got changed for life? It's very beautiful contemplations, and I've contemplated these for a long time. But the simplest way to understand it is that if there is personal will, then there must be a person. And I cannot find this person. Andrew had said, no, father, that isn't me, but you are right. Baswan says, father, how do we go about handling daily situations in life until the realization happens? For a third person, we may be coming across weak. How to avoid being exploited, especially in workplace where the laws of the jungle are applied. The fittest survives. What is the realization that we are waiting for? Call it the self-realization. So why does it have to take time? I know there's something to what you say, but let's really look at this. Is the self not here now? Don't you realize that this self, this witnessing is here? So all that is needed is for you not to believe your next thought, including about work or about anything else. Otherwise, the mind is creating a set of beliefs around this. That yes, it's good, but till you realize at least you need to have a plan for how you will work, how you will deal with your colleagues, how will you get your next promotion. I will help you with these things, you see. Don't believe any of this. Let it come and let it go. Another friend had posted in the Sangha of Being this famous Zen quote, which I love to quote because it's so beautiful in its simplicity. It can bring you this freedom of from suffering right now. It says, keep your back door and front door both open. Let all thoughts come and let them go. Just don't serve them tea. So simple and so profound. Let all these thoughts come and go. You don't engage with them, don't give them your belief. It doesn't say you have to stop your thoughts, meditate, bring your attention to here or there. It doesn't say any of that. It just says be completely open. All thoughts also come. Just don't serve. No other pointing is needed actually. Because you will not pretend to be bound unless you are serving it tea. All these thoughts are about personal bondage, personal desire, personal defense or attack. You are the Supreme Lord, Supreme Lord, just pretending to be this mere person. That's why I say that if you want to see God pretending to be a person, believe your next thought. It's not an exaggeration at all. It's not even a joke. It's completely true. You want to see God pretending to be a person? Believe your next thought. Shanti says, beloved, sleep is taking over, so I'll leave now. So happy I could be here this long. Someone can take my place and hang out. Keep my love. I know that for some time zones, certain timings are not convenient and it seems to be in sleep time. But we looked at some alternatives and it doesn't seem like they're able to cater to all parts of the world in any time. Maybe one day when we are full time in the hangout. There was this feeling one time also to start like a daily hangout which starts in the morning and finishes in the evening. It's like a virtual ashram. So it's not necessary that I am there, but the sangha could just come. It could be like a sangha room. Let's see, maybe one day it works out like that. Nikhil had said very well expressed, Jesh. It's not about figuring it out through words and thought. It's more of an energetic release into relaxation. But one says, okay, he said something in Sanskrit. Okay, let me try. Punarapi janamam, punarapi maranam. So again and again, this circle of life and death. Punarapi janani jathare shayanam iha samsare. Something to do with, I'm presuming you can add on to this the English translation, but I'm presuming that this play of phenomenal reality is constantly is coming and going. Then Bahu Dustare Kripaya Pare Pahi Murare Bhaja Govindam. This is from Adi Shankara's Bhaja Govindam, which is a beautiful, beautiful work. Mhm. And the imploration is that just remember God, remember Govinda, just remember Govinda, and be free from all of the cycle of birth and death. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modamati. And Shankara was very strong in this one. So he says, practically says, you fools, stop doing all of this. Just remember the name of God. Modamate is almost like stupid people, foolish people. Cornelia says, I love you so much, Father. I love you too, my dear. Google says, replace me with you completely, Father. I'm already you. We are one. Just don't believe your next thought. Then show me separation. And Shivani came back. Very good, my dear. Andrew says, God's will. Stina says, this I is a mixture of thoughts, concepts. Concepts are also thoughts. So thoughts, feelings, knowing, intuition, impulses. So if it's a mixture of all of this, are you this mixture or are you aware that this mixture is there? Can you really become the content of the appearance? Or does it need thoughts for you to pretend that you are this? Because the truth does not need to rely on any thoughts. You see? The truth is what it is. So are you this content which is appearing and disappearing? Or are you that which is aware? You have to look. Don't go with your mind for any of these answers. Just look and see whether you can actually become a concept, you can actually become even this voice of intuition. Are you just this? These impulses, are these not just appearances which are coming and going, and you are the eternal witnessing of all of this? Shivani says, Father, what is being noticed a lot are these, is this it thoughts. And this is so boring. There is nothing in this. Like nothing to get and a disappointment and feeling of not wanting this. Yes, it'll pull these tricks. Was this it? I thought it'll be something glorious. Where are the fireworks? Where are the experiences? Where is the bliss? Where is the joy? But burn these also, these which are coming into the fire of your inquiry. And you will see that to your unassociated being, all these forces are ever in service. Don't give any belief to all of this also. And you yourself say, but all this is all seen too. Yes. And there is a big distrust in these and all these thoughts. This is very good. Don't buy from this one. Don't buy from this one, because this one is selling you the story of this just jaded spiritual seeker who got it. You see, they got it and they realize it's nothing. This story, you know, that I'm so great that I got it. I saw it was nothing. It's just so boring. So I enjoy this world. You don't become one of those jaded ones. Just even these thoughts you let go. Jerome says timing satsang is already perfect. Please don't change. Yes, in some parts of the world it's perfect, but in other parts, North America, it's not so easy for them. It's not so easy to change at the moment. Oh, Jeremy had posted something. She said, Father, sometimes it comes that this being is not tired of experiencing as I still fall prey to these temptations. Yet, Father, this is seen as another story. Awareness is untouched. Would love to check in with you on this. Not sure if I'm holding anything in my pockets. Yes. Because the trick that it tries to play is that it says, okay, but now if you discover the truth, then all this beautiful experiencing will go. Yeah? But you will find that it's so beautiful and so fresh every moment. So this experiencing as I, this seems to be the colored one, which is looking through the lens of me. What's in it for me? Isn't it? For most of humanity, it seems like everybody just running about looking for things. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Like this. And then you've had a taste of not experiencing through this filter. You had a taste of not experiencing through this filter. So which one is better?
Namaste, Father. There's no question. There's no question.
So for those who had this experience, then all these doubts and tricks cannot really play. You can just check back on your own experience and see that nothing can compare to this. Why would I want to go from this pure witnessing to becoming a beggar who's constantly saying, what's in it for me, what's in it for me? You would never want.
No, and I guess it's the mind saying, well, because belief still goes at times and identification can come, is then the question of, am I still holding something in my pocket? Is something not fully surrendering? But then that becomes another story within itself, which is also just as much nothing as anything else. It's a subtle trick that the mind plays here.
Yes, and I've seen all of these tricks, and now I've also told you that when something comes and some things keep getting your belief over and over, use that as fuel for your inquiry. Don't let the mind make another story out of it. Don't say, why does this still happen to me? All of that. Just say, oh, yes, you come back, and yes, there was some belief, so let me use this for my inquiry. Then it cuts it very, very sharply. See?
Thank you, Father. Something just felt also just to bring this.
Yes, yes. You must always.
But it's nothing.
Yes, I know.
Thank you so much.
Well, you're always welcome. Actually, it's not if there was really this feeling that I want to continue to experience personally, I want to continue living this in this world as a person, then you would not be able to come to satsang. Unless it is completely clear that this freedom is what I want in my heart, you will not want to come to satsang at all.
It's my greatest love, as if I could say that. It's all nonsense, Father. Everything, whenever I bring something to you, then it's like I can just see it's all it's such nonsense. It's just,
So one of our, I won't tell you who because I'll get in trouble, but somebody very close said to Guruji this time that I've been writing to you so often, but I realize now that you didn't reply because it was all just mind nonsense. You know? So she said like that, that you obviously you won't reply because it's all just mind nonsense. So I wouldn't have used those words, but now that you say, that you're saying you're calling it that, I'm not going to argue with you.
yes, yes, yes.
It's very beautiful if you can communicate like this. There will be a time also where anything that you bring up, I'll just be able to say it's nothing. You
Yep,
know?
it's all rubbish. Everything, in fact, Father, if I even come up, you just tell me you're speaking rubbish again, because everything, whenever I come up here, I just speak rubbish. It's just
No,
rubbish again.
but it's fine. But it's completely fine because at least you come up and you share. And the question might actually be somebody else's. You see, it's completely fine.
I love you so much.
Oh, I love you too, my dear.
I love you so much.
And this is not rubbish. Very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes. Naparna also wants to come after that. So first Anandi and then Naparna.
It seems, I said everything seems to have been burning, and it seems like there's lots of different things in the appearance, not just the money thing, but I can see how it's all in service to me. And I was just watching, there's just thoughts, really strong, seemingly strong ones that were trying to get my belief. And I was just seeing them, and it was such a relief. There's just one that I felt to bring to you because it's here right now, and I can see it's rubbish, and so I just it's about the physical pain in the body. Somehow it just started to get really intense the last couple of days, and so what happens is I can see this voice pretending to be me that's commenting and that's worrying about it. It's like, okay, it just starts creating all these scenarios like, okay, well, I don't have a treatment team here to help. Like it took me forever, but I found like a couple people who knew how to help the body, and I haven't found that here. So it just starts sort of, when the pain comes, it's like, okay, it just starts. I mean, I know that something I'm supposed to, it'll just happen on its own and it'll flow on its own, but it's been Satsang. It just, and I'm seeing the voice that's commenting on it and that's trying to create trouble, more trouble, that is trying to create more suffering than what's here. And then it becomes a distraction. So I can just see like I'm just resting, just watching thoughts come and go, and then like this pain comes and it's just, something wants to believe some of the thoughts, so I just want to.
No, it's good. It's very good. So it's never the pain which is too much. Never the pain which is too much. It is the lack of acceptance of the pain which becomes suffering. The body has pain. This body also is getting a little older now, so I notice that if I walk down all the stairs from my house, there's some pain in the knees. It wasn't there like 2 years ago. This pain is there. other pains come when the body is sick. So I've always experimented with all of this. You see, once you start taking life as a big experiment, then it's a lot more fun. Once I remember I was fully dehydrated because we were on this fundraising marathon and I was carrying, I had a sling and Sita was very small, so I was carrying her in the sling and we practically walked the entire marathon. But because I was carrying her, I must have forgotten to drink enough water. So this body, after the next day, was feeling like it's going to faint. And there's so much pain in the stomach. Wasn't retaining any water. All this was happening, and somewhere I was saying, "How much is the pain?" There was this constant experimentation with everything that starts appearing. Saying, okay, so what are the thoughts now which are coming? What are they really saying? It becomes like this. Then your entire life, including through all these situations, becomes like one big experiment. Where pain comes and it's so strong, and the body is also saying, "Ow, ow," but there's something which is still watching all of this. And ow, ow seems so strong and so real, but this witnessing is unmoved. It's not even concerned. It doesn't even have compassion. This awareness has no compassion also. It's just witnessing.
Please don't have any compassion.
Compassion is okay. Compassion can come in the
See, there's a
presence.
voice that
Yes.
wants to feel sorry.
Yes, that is the poor me. That is not compassion.
Yes.
That is the victim voice. The victim voice. You can feel compassionate towards our body or the body of another. That's fine. But don't pick up this victim mindset because it's not like something is really happening. Because it's simple. If there's too much pain, you will lose consciousness. If you're not losing consciousness, means pain is not too much. It's just the mind which says, "Oh, but now what is happening?" All this. Take that as an opportunity to create all this doubt. Also, it does not mean that there's a feeling that I must get some help. Then okay, I must get some help. Nothing wrong with any of that. So I'm not saying when pain is there, just experiment with it. No. If it feels like yes, need to go to hospital, I went. When I was dehydrated like this, went to hospital. They gave me two bottles of saline and I was completely. It's not like, oh, dehydration is happening in the body, but I'm not the body. I'm aware. So it's not like this. The car needs water in the radiator. The car needs water in the radiator. My being awareness or not has nothing to do with it. So it's just like this. The mind comes and plays these tricks that because I'm free now and nothing should happen to my car, it should not break down. The body can be just what the body is. Ramana had cancer. Maharaj also died because of some disease related to throat. In his last days, Maharaj also used to experience very strong pain. And he also used to have this strong pain, but the voice was still saying that, yeah, I'm watching this. I'm watching this. Sure, the mind was still going, oh, but then are you close to dying? What's happening?
The mind hears, you might not find the
Treatment.
treatment here that you have. That's
Oh, this is what
trying to learn.
do you with temptation. But here, what you're finding is that you're discovering your true self. And this discovery doesn't come sometimes for millions of lifetimes. So what if this body goes? I have to sometimes say like this. So what if this body goes? It's okay. We're the worst that can happen. There must be this feeling that even if it has to go, it's okay. This grace which brought me here, and if grace wants to play it this way, and wants to make a story like this, which I don't feel it will, but even if it wants to, it's okay. Then we are not so much falling into the victim mindset. You're saying, okay, this is happening, so how much is it? Then you can say, okay, it's not fun. Like when I came back from Rishikesh, for 1 week I was just experimenting with what's happening with the body. for about a week, and I'd come back on a Sunday. So it's like this. It's very beautiful. The body has no energy, like this. Then something came to me on the next Sunday that hey, it's been a week, you know, and nothing is really touching you really. But yes, this body might need some help. You know, it's been a week. So next Sunday, this came, and then I started the antibiotics and things like this. It was fine. So we must not also become like, okay, this is just so much fun. It's just an experiment. So. But you cannot really suffer from it. You can feel the pain of it, but suffering is practically impossible. And even then, it becomes fun to see. It's been a week already. The pain is saying, do something, do something. They say, I've done all I could. If it is true. If you find that you're moving towards getting some treatment, nothing wrong. Nothing. You don't take it very seriously. Just know it's happening to your car. It's not happening to you. It's a beautiful car, beautiful instrument that God has given us, this body. So no neglect of it is not what I'm propagating. But you maintain it like you would maintain a gift from God. Never confuse it to be you. You can maintain it like that. It's very good. Hans is also with us today. How is Rishikesh?
It was wonderful. Such a great energy in this place.
Had you been there before, or this was your first time?
No. I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
many times to India, but not to Rishikesh. Following Buddhist satsangs for 2 years. I was so curious about it. I just had to go there. And actually, I was intending to go there when Muji was there. But I was going to a wedding and the schedule was changed. So anyway, I had to go. So it was a great experience. So I feel to go if Muji will be there next year. I have to go there. Really.
How long were you here in Bangalore?
For 3 days. I will be on Satsang for 3 days. Yes. And then back to Sweden.
Very happy with you.
So happy to be here.
Did you get back?
Last night.
Shivam is also back. Ranveer, all of you have met. Jesh is on his weekly one satsang visit. Anandi is the local Bangalorean, your local host. You know the term is Bangalorean.
Bangalore, it's universally Bangalore.
Bangalore. No,
Bangalore
Bangalore.
means your job is being given to Bangalore. With the Americans, Bangalore.
Yes. And outsourced. Lots of chat on YouTube, so let's catch up a little bit. Dennis is with us. Dennis says it's 4 a.m. here in Brazil, and it's a bit hard to keep myself awake. But something says, it is as it is. Thank you. Very good, my dear. And Stina says, yes, I am the witnessing of all this. But the witnessing is not so juicy like the person. It is just neutral and empty. There is nothing going on. Once you see this, then you will see that all which is going on is still appearing and disappearing, just as it was. So don't expect that the appearances will change. It's just that they will lose the ability to cause this psychological, personal suffering. And you'll find that as you're not so distracted with thoughts, you'll find that attention can go and fully tasting this moment. So you will start experiencing life very differently. At every moment you will find this full of so much wonder and joy and beauty. Because when our attention, so the difference between awareness and attention, it seems like awareness is infinite and attention is like the world's version of awareness. This is limited. Everything here is limited in time and space, so attention also seems to be limited. So you'll find that you cannot give attention to multiple things at the same time. That becomes tiring. Multitasking becomes tiring, it becomes difficult. And you're so constantly, most beings are so affected by the content of the thoughts all of the time that so much attention goes there and the rest even rests in this phenomenal world. So when you taste a fruit and you're completely with the fruit and you're not getting distracted by your thoughts, you will find it has a much more beautiful taste. This is what the Buddhist practice of mindfulness, isn't it? Just being completely with what is. And this becomes natural for you. What seemed like a practice earlier now is your natural day-to-day living experience. So it is the mind which says, oh, but this is boring, nothing going on. But this is not changed. It's just that you're not distracted by your personal thoughts now. You're not giving belief to a personal identity. Amba says, my world is trying to convince me that I should have a problem or be concerned with money or to be more something more accurate, to be more accurate, to be concerned about the fact that there is no money. Yes. It always tries to convince us this way. There can never be a way in which what you truly need is not taken care of. It is Grace's job. She says mostly the family members seem to be trying to convince me I need to be worried in some ways. But the world wants us to swing to their beat. They find it very uncomfortable if somebody has no money and they're not concerned. What are you going to do? What's going to happen? Many of us have heard this, isn't it? In my life also, many times my family has told me this. But what's the plan? How are you going to get out of this situation? It's okay, and we don't have to be very Advaita about it. We can just say, yes, something will work, or I'm working on something. We don't have to be dismissive. If it's coming from true love and concern, we don't have to be dismissive. In your heart, don't believe anything. On the face of it, we can say something so that they can feel a little better. There's nothing wrong with that. Many of us must have experienced this. And Amba says, so I don't have anything else to say about it right now, but just this. May life is like this. It will try all possible avenues to see if you will buy it. Yes. Many can relate to what you're saying now. When life is like this, you'll try all these possible tricks to see if you will buy it. Thank you, dearest father. I love you. I love you too, my child. I feel that all of you actually are much beyond buying any of this stuff. This is my blessing to you also. It's not just my feeling that you are beyond it, it's my blessing also that you are beyond it. Claire says, Amba, did you see Bhagavati's post in the Sangha chat a few days ago about a job with a caravan for Muji Sangha? I just felt to say, as I thought of you a lot in my heart when she said it. Aparna wanted to come quite some time ago. I'm so sorry, my dear. You can come.
Namaste, Father.
Okay.
Father, when you were talking to Jesh today, like when we started, you were talking to Jesh.
Yeah.
You were telling the example of consciousness projecting light,
Yeah.
like like a movie. I was just there's something struck me there. I don't know. It's like a lightning struck suddenly, and I started crying. Um, I don't know if the mind created that picture, but or it's just like a movie. Nothing is there. No one is here to do anything. What am I doing
Yeah.
here? Something like that. It came and I said like it's just a witnessing the movie. No one else is here to do it. There's absolutely no need for meditation. Nothing. When you said even the word meditation, I felt like I mean, I don't know. It's just like everything is a joke. Nothing is like somebody is doing all this personhood, all these things was just like nothing. For some time, I think for 10, 15 minutes, I cried really so much. I don't know why I was crying, but something struck me today. And after that, I've been feeling a little calmness and quietness in my heart. There's like sense of peace also. After that, mind came and kept telling, but it didn't actually matter. But I just want to expose this and share with you, Father. Thank
Very
you.
good. Very good. Happen
I
like
don't know
this.
what it is, but
Yes. Something in the presence of satsang, something in words of satsang. The separate I, it just dissolves. Maybe you can mute you for some time. Yes. So the sense of the personal I just seems to dissolve on its own, without any practice. Just being in satsang, being with the energy of satsang, it seems to just dissolve sometimes. Okay. And there is no sense of I. Even the I which says, is this it? Is it enough? I have understood. All this also goes. Sometimes this experience can come. So it's beautiful. Just let it be that, another experience. Because when this I sense comes back, then don't say, oh, why did I lose it? That was so good. No, it's okay. It was some beautiful prasad along the way. Yeah. Got you in touch with reality, which is that there is no separate person here at all. The sense of separation vanished for a few seconds, isn't it? It all seemed like it's all happening on its own, and I am not here actually. It seemed like this. I am not even here. Very. Did did everyone lose my video? Only Bhagwati ji.
Video is fine.
Video is fine. Okay, it's back now anyway for her. Trupti, There on YouTube, she says, it's true. You are me, we are one. Very happy to see you, my dear. And already you say so beautifully, we are one. Thank you, Govil. Love.
So much energy going on in my body
Yes.
and in my mind, especially in the beginning.
Mm.
And now it's starts solving out. And it's, joy is coming.
It can take a little bit of defrosting in the beginning.
Yes.
Vijay always says some defrosting happens. He said initially there was so much energy in the body and the mind, and now it's starting to settle in, and joy is emerging.
So much. I think there was so much expectations.
Yes.
You always have. And when I came here, a fear came up. Almost thought of
Running away.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But I was just feeling. Let it come. Let it come.
It's very good. It's very funny that these things come, you see. Because you see, you feel like when you're away, you feel like, oh, I just want to be close to him. And when you're coming, then when you're close, you're in my house, you're waiting for Satsang to start, something can say, okay, better run. This is a chance, you know. Where are you staying here? Where do you stay for 3 days? Where do you
At
stay?
Raj Comforts. It's a hotel 10 minutes walk from
10
here.
minutes walk?
Yes.
This is good.
It's a great place.
Oh,
Really.
yes?
It's so close. And
Oh,
it's very good.
yes.
It's so fresh.
Okay, Govil, my dear, so much love to you. Stina says, there is a peace as long as I am sitting silently. As soon as I am moving and getting active again, the peace is not there anymore. Your freedom is not dependent on which state is showing up. So don't confuse freedom to be some state, whatever the state might be. Freedom is the allowing of all states to come and go. In that way, you're not constricted, you're not closed. Just be completely open, and then you will find that there is a deeper peace. And this deeper peace means that you, as awareness, are not touched by any of this. So the phenomenal peace, the feeling of peace and quiet, that can go into noise and activity. But the true peace is your peace of being untouched by any of this. Therefore, peace sometimes also can be a confusing word, you see. Because when the sage talks about this peace which is unchanging, it's talking about the peace of awareness, untouched, unmoved. But it does not mean that in a sage's life there are not these times which are full of activity and noise, and times where this quietness and peace is there phenomenally. But internally, inside as awareness, nothing is moved. This is the real peace. And as more and more you are now marinating in your true self, you will see that this peace is not changing. The phenomenal peace can come and go. It's okay. Sometimes I see some of you in the hangout and I see so serious and understanding, then I have to smile. Tupsi says it's not even that we are one. It is that everything is in my heart, anything is here, the whole world. Stina says, this real peace I don't know yet. It's always been with you. It's just that we have been believing our thoughts about states which are coming and going. But this which we speak of cannot be taken away from you. Just like you cannot stop witnessing, you cannot stop being now. In the same way, this pure peace, which is just the nature of your awareness itself, cannot be taken away from you. Shivani has turned off her video so that I don't comment on her expression anymore. Now she's back. Okay, so should we do some Om Namah Shivaya chanting today before we close Satsang? Who's going to lead us? The new one, the Om Namah Shivaya. Yes, together. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Namah Shivaya. Om 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 Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om 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 Namah Shivaya. Bhavati ji, you can come back.
Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Dhyanamullam Guru Murti Pujamulam Guru Padam Mantramulam Guru Vakyam Mokshamulam Guru Kripa Mokshamulam Mujiji Kripa Mokshamulam Anantaji Kripa Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramya Sarve Putrani Pashantu Magaschit Dukapapave Masatoma Satkamya Tamasoma Jyotir Kamya Mrityoma Amritam Gamya Om Purnamida Purnamida Purnat Purnamidachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Brahma Paramastu Om Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai Om Shri Satguru Murti Ki Jai.
Thank you all so very much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Mujji Ki Jai.
Shri Ananta ji ki Jai.
Jai!
Hey.
Jai.
My loves, we can turn the broadcast off now. Thank you so much.